Dr. Jen Andrade, the Active Person's Chiropractor, and today I wanted to talk about snow shoveling, and I wanted to give you guys some tips on how to do it safely. So the winter months are upon us. We've already had some snow here in the Denver area. We've already had to do some snow shoveling, and I know it's not a lot of people's favorite task, but it's part of life here in the winter months. So I want you to be able to do that safely. So number one is warm up properly. So most of us will probably just wake up a little bit early, go out, shovel, maybe clean off our car, and then head off to work or about our day. So if you can take an extra 5 or 10 minutes and do a warm up. So that warm up could look like walking around your house, jogging in place. It could be walking outside if it's not too cold. I also have some dynamic stretches that I recommend. I have another video on those that you can utilize to warm up the body. So we want the joints and the muscles to be warm, the blood flowing, so that we're less likely to cause injury, because a lot of times it's because our body is cold and those muscles are woken up and ready to be moving, especially when it's so cold out and then we're lifting heavy stuff. Number two is really paying attention to your body positioning and posture while we are snow shoveling. So if it's in the spring months, we can get some pretty heavy wet snow, so we want to make sure that we're lifting properly, just like you would do if you were lifting a heavy box. You would think about that, and to use your legs, not your back. So that means that we should be squaring up. So I see a lot of people twisting, so I recommend that you don't do that. If you can, actually pivot. So instead of going twisting, stand up and turn and then throw the snow. So squaring up your hips so that your hips and shoulders are in alignment. Also making sure that we're lifting from the hips and legs rather than using the back. So that movement should be coming from the hips and knees, and then we can kind of move from there. Last tip is don't do too much at a time. We can get a lot of snowfall at times, measuring in feet, so you don't feel like you have to go out and clear everything off all at once if there's a lot of it, or if it tends to be really heavy snow. So maybe spend 10 to 15 minutes, get what you need cleared off, go inside, take a little bit of a break, and then come back out and get back at it and do it safely. And last but not least, hydration. And this is just important all the time, but a lot of times people forget during the winter months that they need to be drinking water because it's cold. It's not as refreshing as it is when it's hot out, but being properly hydrated will make sure that your muscles and your joints are less likely to be injured. So hopefully you found these tips helpful. Thanks for listening. Dr. Jen Andrade, the Active Person's Chiropractor.